This conference will now be recorded.
Right. So now what we'll do is in the last two classes we have created a separate what function import in separate projects. Now what I'll do is in one project only, I'll try to create what multiple what function imports. Okay, one function import I'll use it for reading purpose. Another function import I'll use it for what inserting purpose. Okay. So what I'll do is just for simplicity, let me create my own table. I'll quickly create one table. Let me give the table name as something, some table name Z615 EMP. So based on this table, what I'll try to create the function import. So I'll provide the delivery class. I'll give some fields here. I'll save it in the local object. I'll create the data element. Let me give the domain also. Activate the data element. Done. I'll create another field, ename. It's already available. Then I'll take another field, emp designation. It is also available. Done. So I'm providing the minimum settings for creating the database table. To provide the enhancement category, I'll make employee number as what a key field. Activate the table. So I created the table with the 3 columns. Done. Let me maintain some data in this table. So I'll say utilities table contents, create entries. I'll maintain some data here. One Raju manager, save it. Two Kiran director, save it. Three Pawan CEO, save it. Done. Some data is there. So let me just see the records. Yeah, these are the records available. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 2 managers, 2 directors, and 2 CEOs. So my requirement now is based on this table, I want to create what 2 function imports. One function import has to return the employee details based on the designation. What is the key field in this table? Employee number. So I want to return the what employee details based on designation. So when I create the entity importing from this structure, I'll make there also employee number is a key property. But I want to return the data based on employee designation. That is one thing. Then another functionality is what I want to insert the employee data. I want to insert a new record and I have to return the status of that employee creation. If it is successfully created, it has to return me something like success or it has to return me what fail. So two activities, one is for reading, another is for what posting. I mean to say another is for what creating the data. Okay, so here I go to SC, what is that SCGW, SCGW done, right? So I'll click on what create project. What are the project names I give? 8 is 9 Z, some project name Z615 project 9. Provide some description. Function imports based on employee data. I'll save it in the local object. Done. So I created the project. So first what I'll do, I'll create the entity. I'll create the entity importing from that particular dictionary structure. So how do you do it? Right click on the data model. Also what import what DDIC structure. So already we have seen DDIC structure in our RFC interface. So this thing will be seen going forward. I'll choose what right click on this import what DDIC structure. I'll provide the what name. What is the name of the entity you want to give? I'll give the entity name as something what employee. Then ABAP structure. What is the structure I created? What is the table I created? Z615 PM. So based on our dictionary structure, I'm trying to create the entity. I'll say next. Yeah, it is created. I'll make employee number as a key property. Done. Oh, I want all the fields. Huh? Sorry. Let me select all the fields. Done. I'll say next. Yeah. Now here I have to make employee number. I'll make employee number as a key property because minimum we require one key. I'm making employee number as a key property. Done. So project has been checked. No errors are found. Done. What is the next step now? I need to create the function import. So what is that function import has to do? It has to return the employee data based on designation. So how do you create the function import? Right click on the data model, say what? Create function import. Right? So I'll give the function import name as, let me give it as something EMP by designation. EMP by designation, some meaningful name. Then continue. Okay, so this function import should be associated with what? Output and not input parameters. So first let me give the output parameter, that's what return parameters. What is the return type kind here? The return type kind is what? Entity type. Return type is what? Nothing but your entity. What is the entity name? Employee. Done. What is the cardinality? I may have multiple records based on the designation. So I'll go for cardinality as what? 0 to n. Then again return entity set. I'll choose what? Return entity set is what? Employee set. So I'll just choose this, continue. Not coming. Okay. HTTP method. I'll choose a HTTP method as, I'll choose HTTP method as what? I have to read now. So I'll choose HTTP method as what? Get. Done. And what else HTTP method is get? Action for entity. Nothing but your entity name only. What is it? Employee. That's it. These are my written parameters. What is the input parameter I have to pass? Designation. How do you provide the input parameters? Expand this. We have function import parameters. I'll say append row. You have to give some name here. You can give any name. I'll give the name as something what designation. Designation. What is the data type we want to give? String. Let us give it as string. Done. So let me save it. Done. Check for the syntax error, no errors. Generate the runtime artifacts. runtime artifacts gets what generated. Right. Let me create another function import also. So what is that other function import has to do? It has to insert the data into the table. It has to insert the data into the table. So if you take our normal SQL statement, how do we insert one record into the table? If you want to insert one record into the table, you will say insert database table from what? Work area. Insert database table from work area. The structure of work area should be same as that of what? Database table. So in this case, what is my work area? What is my database table name? Z615 EMP from work area. Work area also should contain what? Three fields. Huh? What are those three fields? Employee number, employee name, and what? Employee designation. Because our table contains three fields. So what I am going to do is I am going to pass three input parameters. So far we are passing only one input parameter. So let me pass three import parameters. I mean to say input parameter referring to employee number, employee name, and employee designation. So what I'll do is, but what you want to do here, you want to return what you want to return after inserting the record. I have to return the status. What is that status should contain? It should contain success followed by success message, or it should contain F, that is failure, and it should contain the failure message. So always you have to return in the form of entity only. Always you have to return in the form of entity. I repeat once again. What is my second function import has to do is you have to pass those three parameters: employee number, employee name, and employee designation. Inside that method, I need to capture the data input values into work area, then referring to work area, I have to insert into the database table. After doing the insertion, I have to return the status, either success or what failure. So in function import, always the return is based on entity only. Na? So I need to create one entity which has to store what type of message and the message itself. So what I'll do is try to understand this. I'll try to create one more entity. Why I'm creating one more entity, you'll understand shortly. So already one entity is there. So I'll right click on what? Entity type. And so what create. I'll give the entity type name as EMP status. EMP status. Let me create the related entity set continue. So as part of this entity, I need to create the properties now. So I'll double click on the properties here. Done. I'll click on append row, append row. What are the properties I'll give? I'll give type and what? Message. I'll give type. I'll give the type as what? Success or failure. No? So I'll choose that. Then I'll give another property name as message itself. And the property name is message. So this should contain the message. Record inserted or record not inserted. Something like that. Let me save it. Check for the syntax error. I have to define at least what? One key property. Na? So let me make this as what? Key property. Done. Let me check it. Generate the runtime artifacts. Yes, they are generated. So I am creating one more entity. What is the entity name? EMP status, which has got two fields, type and message. Why we require this entity, you'll understand now. So what is the next requirement now? I need to create one more function import, which has to insert the data and return the status. So let me right click on the data model. I'll say create what? Function import. I'll give the function import name as what? EMP insert. Any name you can take. I'm giving it as EMP insert. Continue. This function import should have what? Output and input parameter. Na? Output parameter is return parameters. Okay. So I'll give the return parameter as here. For this EMP insert. EMP insert. What is the return type kind? Entity type. Okay, return type is what? Your entity name. What is your entity name here? EMP status. That is the reason I'm creating that particular entity. Return type is always what? Entity. So what is that entity? It has written EMP status. return cardinality. Acha, what it has to do? It has to return me either success or it has to return me either failure. So only one record now. So I'll give the return cardinality as 1, simply 1. Means it should return me either success or what? Failure. Return entity set, okay. Yeah, we'll discuss Ramesh. Ramesh, we'll discuss. When you have deep structure in our ABAP also, we have structure within the structure. Na? Inside a structure, we can include another structure by using what? Dot include. Similarly, here also complex type means entity within the entity. We'll see that scenarios going forward. Am I clear? As of now, remember, complex type is nothing but deep entity. Just like we have deep structure, structure within the structure, here also we have what? Deep entity, that is nothing but called as a complex entity type. Right. So return entity set. Acha. Return coordinate is one. Na? Return entity set means are you returning any internal table? No, I'm not returning any internal table. I'm just returning a one record. If you are returning more than one record, then you have to give the return entity set. Entity set is like an internal table. I'm not returning multiple records. So I can keep it blank. Then what I'll do? HTTP method. What is that? Post. Because you're trying to create. Na? So I'll choose what? Post. I'll try to choose what? Post. Then action for entity, nothing but your entity name, I think. The entity name, EMP status. That's all. So why I'm keeping this return entity set as blank means when you have to give the entity set name there, when you are returning multiple records, but we are not going to return any multiple records. Done. Then what are the input parameters I have to give for this? 3 parameters now, because I have to insert the data into the table. If you want to insert the data into the table, you have to insert the work area. Work area should carry what? All those 3 fields. That is the reason. Let me pass 3 fields here. Okay, it's 3 import parameters. Done, done, done. In the table are all string type. So here also I'll take it as emp underscore number. I'll choose it as string. What else? Emp underscore name. I'll choose it as a string. What else? Emp underscore desig. We can give any parameter names, but the data type should be compatible. In my table, all are string type only, character type only. That's why I get as what? String. Done. That's all. So what I did is I created the data model. I created the data model with 2 entities. I created the data model with 2 entities and 2 function imports. 2 function imports. First function import is for reading purpose, second function import is for inserting purpose. So I need to write the business logic now. Where do we write the logic for business? Where do we write the business logic for function imports? As part of the method what? Execute underscore action in the data provider extension class. So let me navigate to data provider extension class. In the data provider extension class, let me open it in editable mode. In here, I'll search for which method? Execute underscore action. Execute underscore action. Let me try to redefine. Execute underscore action. We need to redefine this particular method. So we have our 2 function imports. Remember. So what I'll do is let us focus on the first function import. What is my first function import is doing? We are passing the designation as input. We are passing the designation as input and returning the employee data based on that particular designation. So let me check the signature once again. What is the function import name? EMP by designation. What is the input parameter name? Designation. Okay. Designation is my input parameter name. EMP by designation is the what? Function import name. Okay, done. Right. So here inside this method and any method. Okay. I have to read the input parameter. Na? What is the input parameter name? Designation. So which parameter will come? IT underscore parameter. So what I'll do is it's a data W underscore parameter like line of line of what? IT underscore parameter. Like line of IT underscore parameter. Done. So here this logic whatever I'm writing here, this logic should be executed only for what? The first function important. So we have one parameter here, iv underscore action underscore name. So what I'll do here, I'll say case what is the parameter name? Iv underscore case iv underscore action underscore what? One second, let me switch on the charging. Case iv underscore action underscore what? Name. End case. So what is that function import name? First one emp by designation. Emp by designation. So this logic should be executed only for that function. Okay, done. So what is the logic at right here? Read the designation. Read the designation sent to through what? URL. So sent to through URL. Let us read it. Read table. What is the parameter IT underscore what parameter into what is the work area declared W underscore parameter done with the key name equal to what is the input parameter name designation. You just now observe with input parameter name your designation. Done. Designation. Okay. So what is the logic at right here? If size of bars is equal to 0, if size of bars is equal to 0, what I have to do? I need to get the employee data based on what? Designation. So I require what? One internal table. I require one internal table based on your entity. Okay, so already we know based on your entity, some declarations will be available. Some declarations will be available in the model provider class. Some declaration will be available in the model provider class. So let me navigate to model provider class. In the model provider class, this is the name of the model provider class. Let me copy it. Done. Then here in the type section, you can see your TT underscore employee. Good. I need to refer to this one. It's an internal table. TT underscore employee is type standard table of TS underscore employee. Good. TT underscore employee, and this is the model product class name. So let me go back to that method execute underscore action. Yeah, I require one internal table. So data T underscore employee type model product class implies what is the types declaration we identified TT underscore what employee TT underscore employee done. So get the data. So it's a custom table. So I don't have any function model for that. So I'll write the select query normally select start from Z615 EMP is a table into table. What is the internal table? T underscore what employee where employee designation equal to the given designation which are reading into work area. Na? So W underscore parameter hyphen what is the field there value of name value. So the name of the input parameter is designation. The value will come and sit in this work area. Done. Transporting value not required. So if size of bars is equal to 0, Okay, if size of r is equal to 0, what is the meaning? I need to return the data. No? I need to return the data. So how do you return the data from the function input? Already we know we have one method, na copy underscore data underscore to underscore ref, which has got two parameters. What are they? What are they? Is underscore data, another is cr underscore data. One is import, another is changing. Okay. So if size of r is equal to 0, return the employee data. Return the employee data. So what is the method I need to call? Copy underscore data underscore to underscore ref inside this. What are the parameters for this? Let me cross check once again. Yeah, this is a method. Oh, sorry. Is underscore data is importing, cr underscore data is not changing. Okay. Copy data ref, import becomes export, so I'll say exporting. What is that? Is underscore data equal. What is the internal table where you are fetching the data? T underscore what? Employee. T underscore employee, and changing remains what? Changing. What is the parameter name? Cr underscore data, which is reference to data. Cr underscore data is a type ref to data. So in this, what is the parameter which is type ref to data? Er underscore data. No? Er underscore data. So just simply assign it. Er underscore data. That's all. And if. Let me save it. Check for the syntax error. No errors. That's all. So what is the logic of my first function import? Based on the imported designation, I'm getting the data into the internal table. If the data is available, I'm returning the data. How to return the data? We have to call the method what? Copy underscore data underscore to underscore what? Ref, which has got two parameters. One is underscore data, another is what? Cr underscore data. As part of the parameter is underscore data, we need to associate your return internal table. That's it. This is the logic about this. Now let me quickly write the logic for that also. And if and case of here only, when when what is the second function import? I forgot. Let me go back. Second function import is what? Emp insert. Emp insert. How many parameters it has got? Three parameters. Emp underscore number, emp underscore name, emp underscore designator. Okay. Emp insert is the name of the function import. So let me implement that method. Execute underscore what? Action. Done. So as part of this method, let us write the logic. So when, what is that second function import name? Emp insert. So when emp insert, right? When emp insert, I have to read those. I have to read that particular input parameters. No, how many input parameters are there? Three input parameters. You have three input parameters. So I'll say read the input parameters into work area. Read the input parameters into work area of what? Database table. So why you require work area here? I need to prepare a work area which is similar to the structure of database table. Now. So let me declare the work area here. So somewhere here, where is that? Yeah, somewhere here I'll declare data w underscore emp type. What is my database table name? Z615 em. So I'm declaring a work area referring to my database table. Okay, so now let us read the input parameters. What is that? Okay. clear w underscore parameter. Done. Read table. What is the internal table which will carry the parameters? It underscore what parameter, which you already know it. So read table what it underscore parameter into what w underscore parameter with key name equal to what is the name of the first parameter? Emp underscore number na emp underscore oh sorry with the key parameter input emp underscore number. Done. Then I'll say if size of bars is equal to 0, I'll say w underscore emp hyphen what is hyphen emp number equal to what is the input parameter value? W underscore parameter hyphen, well, I'm assigning it to my work area field. Repeat this process for the rest of the two parameters. Okay, read table so and so with the key name equal to the second parameter emp underscore name. Emp underscore name. If size of ours equal to 0, what is the second work area field? Ename. Ename equal to so and so. Done. What is the third one here? Read table emp underscore desig. What is the field in my structure? Emp desig. So w underscore emp is what type? G615 emp. G615 emp has got three fields: emp number, ename, and emp desig. So I'm assigning it to those work area fields. Done. So I read the input parameters. Then the rest of the thing is simple. What is that? Insert into what? Database table. Insert into database table. How do we insert? Insert. What is the table name? G615 EMP from what is the work area I prepared? W underscore EMP. Insert G615 EMP from W underscore EMP. Then what I'll do if size of RC equal to 0, I need to return what? Success. Or else I need to return what? I need to return what? Failure. Okay, so what is the return type here for the second function import? Let me go back and check for the second function import. Where is that? Yeah, for the second function import, this one. What is the return type here? EMP status. EMP status is nothing but your entity now, which has got two fields: type and what? Status. Type and not status. Type and message it seems. Type and message. Okay. Type is also string. Message is also string. So let me go back to my data product extension class. Execute underscore what? Action. Execute underscore action. Now what I'll do is here read table IT and sorry, not this one. If size of is equal to 0, I require a work area for returning that. I require a work area for returning that. So what I'll do, yes. Again in the model provider class, you will have declarations related to your what? Related to your entity. So let me go to my model provider class. This is my model product class. Let me copy this because I have written the return cardinality is one now. One is what? One record. So in the types declaration, do we have anything? Yeah. TS underscore EMP status is there. Let me refer to that. This TS underscore EMP status has got two fields, type and what? Message. So I need to refer to TS underscore EMP status. TS underscore EMP status. Okay. Execute underscore action. If size of arts equal to 0, let me declare the work area because the return status is work area. So data, what is that? W underscore EMP status type model product class implies what is the work area? TS underscore EMP status. Okay, I'm referring to work area because the return cardinality is what? 1. If size of ours is equal to 0, if size of ours is equal to 0, I'll say w underscore emp status hyphen type equal to what? Success. Then w underscore emp status, sorry, w underscore emp status hyphen message equal to, I'll just give a message, what employee inserted, done. Else if the insert is failed, when the insert will fail, if the key field value is already existing, so type equal to what, I'll give error, I'll give the type as error, and I'll give the message as employee not inserted or employee insertion failed, something, employee insertion failed, and if and case, and if only, that's all. Okay, I need to return this data now again, so here I'll just copy this. So after this, return the employee what, insertion status. So what is that work area here? Earlier we return the internal table. What is the work area now? W underscore emp status. W underscore emp status. Done. Rest of the same. That's all. So what I am doing in the second function input, I am reading those three input parameters. I am assigning those three input parameters to my work area fields. I am referring to that work area. I am inserting into the database table, and I am returning the, I am constructing the status, and I am returning the status by calling the method of copy data to graph. That's all. Let me save it. Check for the syntax error. Activate this. Done. I'll put the breakpoints now. Done. Let me go back. Activate the class, generate the runtime artifacts. Right, they are generated. Since is the first time, I need to register with the gateway client. Done. Let me maintain. Right, I'll click on the gateway client. Done. Now, yeah, if you check the metadata, it is going to show you the information related to both the function imports. You can see this is my first function import emp by designation, and this is the second function import emp insert. So first function import has got only one input parameter designation. Second function import has got three input parameters: emp underscore name, emp underscore name, emp underscore number, emp underscore name, and emp underscore designation. So already we know how to provide this now. So what you have to do as part of this service. Okay, first let me try to get the data. So I'll say emp by what? Designation. 1 second. Emp by what? Designation equal to, I'll give what? Manager. I'll give manager. So let me check. Oh, sorry. Emp designation, the name of the function import. How do you give the input parameter? Question mark. No, question mark. What is the parameter name was here? Designation. No? Designation. Designation equal to man. This is the way you have to do the query. function import name, followed by what? Your designation done. Let me click on execute. It is stopping there. Yes, it is stopping there. Now, if you I've sent the request to the first function import name. What is the action name here? See, action is what? EMP by designation. So this when statement is satisfied. I am reading the input values. So what is the input values you can see here? IT underscore parameter, what is the designation? Okay. Okay. Right. So see here, designation, what is this value? Manager, done. So I'm trying to read it. I'm trying to read it into the work area. I'm trying to get the data into this internal table. T underscore employee has got what? 0 entries so far. So based on that, how many records I got? Good. I got 2 records. I got the 2 records, one employee number and employee number 4. Both are what? Managers. I'm trying to return the data. How do you return? Copy data to ref and get the data here. I'll get the 2 records. Yeah, I got the 2 records here. Okay, so this is employee number 1, Raju manager, and employee number 4, Krishna and what? Manager. I got the 2 records. Okay, let me give CEO. When I execute, action name is same. And what is the input parameter value? CO. What is the parameter name? Designation. Done. So I'll say F5. I got the data into this. Yeah. If you see the internal table, again I got 2 records. I got 2 records. See the records. Employee number 3 and what? 6. So this is working fine. So when I say F8, I would get the data there working fine. Okay, so I got the data. 3 Pawan CEO and 6 Kranti and what? CEO. Now let me send the request to what? Second function import. I'll send the request to second function import. So what I'll do is here I'll say what is the second function import name? EMP insert, no? EMP insert. So I'll say EMP insert, EMP insert. How many parameters you have to pass? 3 parameters. I'll try to pass only one parameter, EMP underscore number. EMP underscore number equal to, I'll give the employee number as something 200. Let me check what happens when I execute. Good. What is the error I got? Invalid function import parameter. Oh, invalid function import parameter. Invalid function import parameter. Okay, it's not giving that. Okay, I'll try to give all the 3 values. How to give multiple values here? I think I have to give ampersand. Ampersand. What? EMP underscore name equal to, I'll say something Kiran, and then I'll say ampersand EMP underscore desig equal to, I'll say something CO. Okay, I'm giving all the 3 parameters. Let me check now. Execute. Okay. The specific. Oh, good. Very good. So what is saying here? The specified HTTP method is not allowed for the resource identified by the data service request URL. Understood? So this function import is for what? What is the logic I wrote there? Insert now. Sorry. While creating the function import, what is the HTTP method I use there? Post now. While creating the function import, I use the HTTP method as what? Post. So what I have to do here, I have to choose what? Post here. I'll choose the radio button what? Post. I'll click on what? Execute. Good. Now it is going well. Understood? Because while constructing the function import, I have chosen the HTTP method as what? Post. What is the action name here? EMP insert. Done. It will go to the second one. And if you see this IT underscore parameter, yeah, these are the parameters. EMP underscore name, EMP underscore name, and EMP underscore desig. So I'm trying to read them. I'm trying to read them. Size of ours is 4. Why? Size of ours is 4. Second read also is 4. Oh, why like that? What are the parameter names? EMP underscore number, EMP underscore name, and EMP underscore designator. Okay, again it is 4. Nothing is there in this work area. Yeah, it will insert the blank record now. It will insert the blank record. Employee number will be 0. There will be space. So I'm returning that. Hello. Yeah, you can see employee inserted. Understood? Actually, it has inserted what? Space. It is inserted what? Space. If you go back and check the table, that is the table I created Z615 EMP. Number of entries earlier 6 are there. Now I got 7. So probably it has inserted space for that record. Yeah, I got space, 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 space. So I think the problem is in my parameter name. Okay, I told that the parameter names are also what? Case sensitive, no? Are also case sensitive. So they are case sensitive. So I'll go to this method, execute underscore action. Yeah, here I think the adjustment I have to do is, yeah, here I gave it in uppercase now. But if you see while constructing the function import, what is the first? Yeah, here you can see the parameter names are in what? Lowercase. The parameter names are in what? Lowercase. Understood? So they are case sensitive. So that is the reason. Let me go back to my data provider extension class. Execute underscore action. So here I'll change it as what? EMP underscore number. And here also I'll change it as EMP underscore name. EMP underscore design. So let me save it, check for the syntax error, done. So I think there is a problem. Better we regenerate the runtime artifacts. So I have to maintain now. Right. So here I'll choose what is my function import name. EMP insert is a function import name. EMP insert is a function import name. Then that's the thing. Employee underscore number equal to what? 200 ampersand What else? Ampersand what? emp underscore name equal to, I'll say something Kiran. Okay, and then I'll say ampersand emp_desig equal to, I'll say something what, co. Okay, let me try to execute this. Oh, I got error. Why was invalid function input parameter? Why I got there? Acha, good. emp number, na, I should give it as emp_number. The parameter name is what? emp_number. Execute this. Hello. There you go. The specified, good. Again, while considering the function import, what is the HTTP method I've chosen? Post. No? So I have to choose what? Post. Done. Execute this. Okay. Action name is so and so. Done. Emp insert done. And if you see this internal table, it is carrying three parameters. Parameter names are emp_number, emp_name, and emp_designation. Done. I am reading it. Now size of ours is 0. Good. I am assigning it to work area. Work area done. So done. So if you see w_emp, it has got the data. What is the data? I got 200 Karen and CO. I'm trying to insert this into the table. My insert is successful. Size of ours is 0. What is the status I'm constructing? Type equal to success. Message what? Inserted. Then I'm returning that particular data. When I say fit, yeah. What is the type I got? Success. Employee what? Inserted. Just to return the status of my function import, I have used it. Success and what? Employee inserted. So earlier we had 7 records. Now you'll have what? 8 records. Yeah, we have what? 8 records. 200 Karen and what? CO. Done. So what is the understanding here is a single data model might contain what? N number of what? N number of what? Function imports. This is the way to write the logic for what? Multiple function imports. I have not checked the logic for delete. I'll check it today. Okay, tomorrow I'll discuss it. Okay, so in the function import, I used get method for what? Reading, and post method for what? Inserting. Okay, I've checked many blogs, so no way they didn't give the information. So I'll do it practically and let you know tomorrow. Okay, how to do delete? Can we do delete or not using function import? Because as per my knowledge, function import supports only get and post method. We cannot choose delete. Let me try it practical. I'll discuss it tomorrow. How to create multiple records. How to create multiple records. Okay. Using function import. Okay, so again we have to do the analysis on this. How do we insert multiple records to a database table? Insert database table from table what? Internal table. So in the earlier case what I did, I assumed that I am going to pass only one record. I am going to pass only one record, so I pass 3 input parameters. So now what I have to do, I need to pass what? Internal table as a parameter. So we need to pass internal table as a parameter, but we don't have that part. If you see this, one second, if you go to the function import, in the import parameters, I need to pass internal table, but do we have any data type which will refer to the internal table here? No, no, we don't have any data type for what? We don't have data for passing internal table as a parameter. So I cannot do it through import parameter. What is the other way we can do? You understood, we have to analyze this blindly, we cannot comment on that. Okay, so in order to insert, I have to pass what? Internal table, because internal table can carry what? Multiple records. But just now we understood, in the import section I don't have any parameter which will carry the internal table data. So This is ruled out through import parameter. Ruled out through import parameter. So how do we do it? Hmm? One second. It is not possible through function import parameter, but somewhere we have that option importing from file. Do we have that anywhere? Good. Yeah, it's possible, Ventesh. So we'll see this data model from the file. Okay. So what you have to do in the file, we have to store what? Multiple records, and then we have to upload or what? Download. Okay. So I'll do that in the coming. This is pending. We'll discuss it coming classes. But through function import, I don't think it is possible. It is possible through OData service, something like this, but not through function import. Not through function import, because we don't have any parameter which is going to carry what? Internal table. See, our agenda is what? We have to insert multiple records. So how do we do it? It is not concern for the customer. Right? Customer wants the end result. So I cannot do it through function import parameter. So I need to check for what? Other alternatives. So we have the option to import it from what? File. That anyhow we'll discuss. But as per my knowledge, through function import, it is not possible. Sure, I'm sure about that. Once again, otherwise we'll just quickly Google and check, is it possible? I don't think it is possible. One second. Inserting multiple records through what? Through what? Function import, no? Function import. This is my skill. This is SAP Odata service multiple table. Deep insert is there. Deep insert concept, yes, we know, but through function import. OData function with structure as input parameter. Okay. How to post multiple rows at a time into database table using what? Using OData. This is different case, not through function import. No, this is not through function import. Okay. Deep insert concept, yes, possible, but through function import, I am checking. This is deep insert. Deep insert will come going forward. It's not there here. Let me check this block. See, they are also referring to the same thing. They are even not able to pass structure also. That's why I passed what? 3 individual fields. I didn't pass the work area also, because I don't have any parameter which will carry the work area or which will carry the internal table. That's the reason in the earlier example I passed the 3 individual fields. Inside the logic I have assigned to work area, but not directly, we are not passing the work area as a parameter. So we don't have that. Any solution is there? Let me scroll down. What is saying through function import, it's not possible. Okay. See, if you're looking at passing a table to function import, I don't think it's possible. Okay. So table is not possible through function import. Okay. Any other information? I can return the table through function import. I can return multiple values, but I cannot pass. Okay. Again, they are going for deep insert concept, but not through function import. No, so not possible. Not possible like this. Not possible through function import, but we have what? A procedure to insert multiple records through deep insert concept. Deep insert will come going forward, not through function import. Venkatesh, is it clear? Agenda is what? To insert multiple records. How do we do it? It doesn't matter for the customer. Okay. Somehow we are able to do it. We can do it through what? Deep insert concept, but not through function import. Yeah, when we discuss deep insert concept, we'll be discussing that. Multiple records. Yes. But not through function import. What I'm trying to say is not through function import. One second. Yeah, you can see it's there in the syllabus. No? What is that? Deep insert. So when we come to that, we'll discuss that. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah, tell me.
Sir, sir, if the file is in a application server, so what is the procedure to retrieve the file from the application to
Not
the
possible.
Odata?
Not possible.
Sir,
Not possible.
every statement is possible in the Odata. Sir, open data set and write read data set is possible. Then
No,
we can
no,
write the.
no, no, no. That logic will doesn't work here. Here the purpose of audit is again what? To perform what? Crude operations. Na?
Okay. But
So
CUDA,
here, बोलो.
सर मेरा का ये मानना है, जब आपका मैक्सिमम रिक्वायरमेंट जो आता है ना हम लोग का जो
हम्म,
फाइल आपका एप्लीकेशन सर्वर में है,
हम्म,
एप्लीकेशन मतलब सर्वर से
हम्म,
आप वो
हम्म,
डाटा थ्रो से आपका UI5 में मतलब डिस्प्ले करना है.
हम्म. Through
सर
UI5, through
हाँ.
UI5, not
यस
through
यस.
this OData. UI5 में
ओके.
कर सकते हैं, फ्रंट एंड में कर सकते हैं, इसमें नहीं कर सकते. Okay,
अच्छा.
that
ओके.
through front end part we can do it, not through this OData service.
ओके. ओके. ओके.
Okay, yeah,
ओके.
yeah. Venkatesh, the answer for the question is how to delete multiple requirements. Simple understanding is what you have to do is when you're creating the entity, when you're creating the entity, you make a property as a key property which will have duplicate values. Suppose assume that if you take this entity only, EMP what employee and what employee entity, here what you do is where is that? Yeah, here in this entity you make first of all you want to delete multiple records. Multiple record means what is the understanding? It is not based on the key field. Na? See again if you go back to the above concept, when you when you try to delete when you try to delete from what database table where class, if you are comparing with key field, it's guarantee that only one record will be deleted, only one record will be deleted because you are comparing with a key property. Now your requirement is what you want to delete the data multiple records from the database table, so it should not be based on key field. It should be based on what non-key field. It should be based on what non-key field. So now if it is a non-key field, there is a possibility that multiple records might exist based on that. So it will delete all the records wherever this condition is satisfied. So keeping this in mind, here what you have to do, you don't make employee number as a key property. Make what employee designation as what key property. Is it clear? Make employee designation as key property. Then how do you do it when you are performing the delete operation? What you have to pass as a parameter? What is the key property in your entity? Designation. Na? So give the designation in the parentheses. Give it as what? Something what? Manager. So it will delete all the records wherever the designation is what? Manager. Is it clear what I am trying to say? If you are trying to delete based on key property, it is always guaranteed that only one record will be deleted. I cannot delete multiple records here because you are comparing with what? Key property means what? Which doesn't have a duplicate values. Your agenda is what? You want to delete what? Multiple records. Multiple records. So multiple records means what? You have to compare with what? Non-key property only. So keeping this in mind, you have to construct the entity in such a way that don't make employee number as a key property. Make what? Employee designation as what? Key property. So when you are implementing this stub operation now, where is that? Yeah. When you are implementing this stub operation, this one, delete. What is the parameter you have to pass to the delete? The key property of your entity. What is the key property in your entity? Employee designation. Na? So pass designation as what? In the URL. In the URL, you will say what? This is your entity set, and in the parentheses, you will pass what? The key property value. What is the key property? I am talking about key property at the entity level, not at the database level. Then in the implementation method, what you will do? Delete from your database table, where what? Emp does equal to the input parameter value. Now it will delete what? Multiple values. That's all. Is it clear, Ventesh? So we have to understand, if your requirement is to insert multiple records in a table, means obviously you will not compare with the key field. You will compare with the non-key field in the delete statement. So keeping that in mind, you have to construct the entity in such a way that don't make employee number as a key property. Make employee designation as what? Key property. So that when you are performing the delete operation, in the parentheses you will pass what? The designation value. So based on this designation, there may be many records whose designation manager, it will delete all the records like that. Through function import, can we do delete or not? That I told I'll discuss it tomorrow because I need to check it practically from my end first. Through function import, I'll try to discuss tomorrow. Okay. Any other doubts, others? Channel. So I'll wind off. We'll continue tomorrow with other features.